Hello Cruising World, it's Monday. Monday is Tips Day, and this week I have some tips from Sean, my good Canadian friend. Looks like we have 10 tips from Sean, so hopefully we'll do this over 2 weeks. They're not very big, kind of like Dave's, they're very short ones. I haven't read them as always, but we'll see what we can do. With Dave's over the last couple of weeks, I couldn't really do too much because I don't know as much about celebrity as I do about Carnival, but if I know Sean, these are going to be about Carnival. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more to say and not just waffle on and on and on. Anyway, which I'm doing right now. So let's get on with this. So as always, you send me your tips. I read them out. I do not read them in advance. I read and react as we go. So let's see what Sean's got. By the way, if you're wondering about the suit, I was trying to get as close to the Canadian flag as I could. And I don't love Canada. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So no rhyme or reason to this. It was just as close to the Canadian flag as I could get. I think they need a little bit of love right now. We'll leave that there. All right, number one. If both passengers have internet package, it is better to use Messenger to contact each other on the ship as opposed to the Hub app chat. We don't find the chat very reliable. I will correct you. I couldn't correct Dave last week. But it should have been if both passengers have the internet package, not have internet package. I have internet package here. Stone Age, Sean, Stone Age. Anyways, I can't disagree with that. The chat's been reliable for me the last few cruises because we've been on with other people that maybe didn't have the internet package, so the only way we could get in touch was with chat. But there's one thing I really dislike about chat, even though it seems to work a lot better nowadays, for me at least. You don't get a notification when you get a message on the main screen. So you have to constantly go into the Hub app to see if you have an alert or notification. It doesn't give you notifications on the front page. I wish it did. Maybe it does and I'm missing something. If that's the case, put it in the comments as always. I think I'm right, but I never am 100% sure. But that's the one thing I don't like about the chat. But yeah, Messenger we use all the time now. We don't, and you've got to pay $5 for the chat. So why would you spend $5 to get it when you both have the internet? If it's just two of you cruising and you have it, like I said, when I use the chat, it's when there's a big group of people and somebody's trying to get a hold of me or whatever. But I hate the fact that you have to constantly go into it to see if there was a message. I wish it gave you a notification. And again, if it does, my bad, I missed it. Correct me. People always do. Number two, we have come home with colds or gastro issues after recent cruises, so I've looked at ways to stay healthier on cruises. Hand washing, less alcohol, ouch, stay physically active, more sleep, supplements, emergency C. We would be interested in how other people avoid getting sick on cruises. Well, let me tell you how I avoid getting sick on cruises, Sean. I don't wash my hands. I drink more alcohol. I bring gym gear, but I never go to the gym. I sleep about 3 hours a night. I don't know what a supplement is. An emergency C. I know where my emergency evacuation place is. That's about it. What is emergency C? Don't know. That's my input. So what else have you got, everybody, to help Sean to stay healthy? Gastro issues is a bit scary. I had some pretty bad food poisoning on a cruise last May on the Jubilee, and all I'm going to say is I went to the cooking class. I have muscles. I cooked myself. Should not have done that. Or actually probably blaming Julie. Oh, Sean may have been in that class with us, so I know you weren't on that one. I'll let you off. But yeah. All I'll say is I was glad that you could reach the sink from the toilet. Moving on. Yeah, so if you have your suggestions, please put them in the comments. That should be like maybe I'll go back to my Facebook group. I did that for tips for new cruisers. Maybe I'll do that on tips on how to stay healthy on a cruise, because quite frankly, I don't. Number three, being nice to the crew will get you a lot of extra things you might want on a cruise. Example is the dining room host. We always talk to the same one each night after we check in on the Hub app, especially if the wait time is long, By the third night, they see you waiting and might call your name to come to be seated. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that is right or wrong, but absolutely being nice to the crew helps you. I do find that if I'm nice to the crew, when I walk to the bar, there's a red stripe waiting for me. Ding! I wish I had one of them like light bulb things that I could show on. There probably is one, but too much hassle. Just imagine a red stripe and an angel up there right now. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, but being nice to the crew will get you a lot of extra things, especially if you're that nice. You got to think about it, right? How nice are they actually to you individually when you are on a 7-day cruise? And this is not a knock on the crew at all. And there's 4,500 people on the cruise. And then the next week there's another 4,500 people. And then the next week there's another 4,500 people. So over time, they're going to see how many people. What makes them remember you the next time you cruise, right? Being nice, obviously. Being outgoing, being personable. Yes, definitely helps. But nothing helps more than. Especially when... But here's what I don't do. I don't tip on day one anymore. I went in one time with the attitude, wow, if I tip this person on day one, they're going to be nice to me all week. But what I didn't factor in was that not every crew member's as good as all the others. They're all great, in their own way, but some maybe not quite as great as others. So I like to work out who the good ones are. So by day 2 or 3, you've pretty much done that, especially if you're like me and you go to the same places all the time. Then, Red Stripe Mick. If they call me sir, I stop them. My name is Mick, not sir. I am not better than you. You're better than me. I should be calling you sir. But as far as the restaurant one goes, here's the thing for me. That's why I've been kind of going around this a little bit. It's kind of hard for me to answer because the more we cruise, the less we eat in the main dining room. The more we'll eat in specialty restaurants. I know it costs more, but the quality of food, let's be honest, is drastically fallen in the main dining room. So, yeah, even on formal night, there's been a lot of cruises lately where we didn't go in the main dining room at all. Moving on. Number 4, addressing crew by their name is easy. Read their name tag, but also makes for a more personal, enjoyable interaction, even if it is just thanking the guy who just made my omelette. I'm going to add to that 2 things. And I've talked about this before. Where's my phone? I got to pull this up. It's in my pocket. Did you know that all the people from Bali, and fast forward over this if you've heard it before, but they actually go by their last names. What I mean by that is, if they are the firstborn, they have a set last name. If they are the secondborn, and so on, and I've got it all written down here somewhere. So when you see that, and you see the I, that is pronounced E. And if it's a female, it's an N-I, and it's pronounced Ni, as in the knights that go Ni, Ni, in Monty Python. If anybody remembers that, it was hilarious, and you will appreciate what I'm saying. So if you are, for example, if your last name is Ketut, you are the 4th born, or the 8th born, because it goes 1 through 4, and then it goes back. I have way too many pictures on my phone, and I cannot see it. Ah, damn it. So, but if you see those names and they look the same, that's what it is. Let me see if I put it in my screenshots. You're waffling, Mick. You're losing people. They're stopping watching because they're bored with what you're saying. But this is quite interesting. No, don't look like I have it. I thought I screenshot it so I could never lose it. Clearly not. Anyways, so if you see different Bali boy names, that's what they do. Oh, here we are. Found it. Boom. So, and one of these is wrong. Well, not wrong. I've got one missing. But Putu Awayan, you're the firstborn. Kadek Made, you are the secondborn. Kamang Nyoman, and there's another one in there. I can't remember what it is, but you're the thirdborn. Kutut, you are the fourthborn. And then it goes back. So if you're the fifthborn, back to Putu or Wayan. You have to be called one of those names. Why, I don't know, but there's a rule in Bali, or in, not Indonesia, Bali, that says you have to. And if your last name is Gusti or Ida Bagus, that means you're special, religious or something special. So what they'll do a lot of the time is, because they don't want to have 100 Gustis or 100 Mardays, they'll actually put a different name up there. But when you sign your drink, in the top right hand corner on the drink ticket will actually have their real name, because they don't want to be just another Kutut on a cruise ship, right? So like my good friend Kutut, he has Tut Adi, but if you sign the sheet, it will say Kutut in the top right hand corner. So I keep this on me at all times, and if ever I get served by one of those, wherever it is, drinks, food, whatever, I will say, thank you, number 2, and you'll always get a smile on their face, and they'll be, how do you know that? And it leads into conversation. The other thing I would say, and that was a very long-winded answer to the first thing I was going to say, the other thing I was going to say is, don't guess how to say their name. So if you see their name and you think it might be pronounced possibly differently than how you're going to pronounce it, maybe say, I don't know, Kutut, is that how you say your name? Because I don't want to butcher it, and they'll correct you if you are wrong. But to Sean's point, addressing the crew by the name, they address us. Why shouldn't you address them? You know? And don't, if I ever, this happened on the Panorama twice. I get itchy thinking that the anger that comes up in me. My brain zaps are almost gone for an hour at least because of the medication I'm on, but it will bring them back. One person snapped their fingers to get the crew members' attention. Don't do that. And then the other one, we're sitting at the bar talking to some friends of mine, and this person that they knew, not that I knew, came up and referred to them as the help. No, you don't do that. You call them by their name, just like they call you by your name. If you fill out the survey afterwards, I know not everybody gets it, but it goes out to like 40% of people. I was corrected. I thought it went to everybody. But if you do get the survey afterwards, one of the questions is, were you always addressed by the crew members as your name? So they are told to do that. Why shouldn't we show respect and return that with the name? And it breaks the monotony. I say this all the time. Have a conversation with people. They look forward to seeing you every day. Instead of, what would you like with that, sir? What would you like on your omelette? What would you like on your omelette? What would you like on your omelette? Oh, hi, how's your family? You know, blah, blah, blah. What did you do today? Did you go ashore? Yada, yada. Just make some sort of conversation to break the monotony. You won't believe how far it goes in helping them to get through 9 months of working 7 days a week at sea, 8 to 9 months. Lecture over, number 5, and then we're going to quit this week because I'm waffling way too much on these tips. I think I'm making up for the fact that last week was celebrity tips and I didn't know enough. Number 5, please use please and thank you when interacting with the crew. I hate hearing I want or give me without the polite please or thank you. See, Canadians are very polite, aren't they? You know, sometimes they're too polite, but on this occasion, he's correct. But yeah, English people are very polite as well, but nobody's as polite as Canadians. They're just sometimes too polite. So I take that with a pinch of salt, because you would say please or thank you to anything, and in my head I'm trying to think of things that aren't, things I'm not allowed to say on this video, because I can think of a lot of things, but I'm not. I'm getting distracted. There's so many things I could say that you should say please and thank you for, but I'm not going to say them. Not going to do it. But yes, absolutely please and thank you. In the middle of the conversation, it kind of ties on with the last tip. So while they're cooking the omelette for you, while they're making your drink at the bar, and I'm sitting there waiting for one beer that takes them 2 seconds while you're getting this mixed drink that takes 5 minutes, have a conversation with them. Ask how their day is going. On top of the please and thank you, but definitely the please and thank you. It doesn't seem like much, but you'd be amazed how far it goes. Again, breaking the monotony of them constantly doing the same repetitive thing over and over and over again, every day, 7 days a week, 8 to 9 months at a time. Trust me, when you see crew members walking around cleaning your plates up in the galley, have a conversation with them. You'd be amazed. They will stop and talk to you. Sometimes you can't get rid of them because they're not used to people talking to them. There's obvious people will talk to. When I say get rid of them, I don't mean it like that. when you have people at bars, they expect you to talk to them, right? Your room steward, they expect you to talk to them. But the people walking around in like the galleys or the dining room, the people cleaning in the toilets and stuff like that, maybe don't talk to them in the toilets. But if you see people walking around cleaning, just have a brief conversation with them. You don't have to go into great detail and depth, right? Don't just say, oh, take this and dump it and walk away, right? Have a conversation. And if you are so willing to do so, at the end of a cruise, find somebody, give them a $20 tip, give them a $10 tip, give them a $5 tip. You know, they don't get tips. Bartenders get tips. I'm not saying don't tip your bartenders. Keep tipping them. Your room steward gets tips. Dining room people get tips. But some people that don't expect them, like if somebody served you an omelette all week, and I'm sure Sean does this, throw them a little cash at the end of the week for all the time they've made in making your perfect omelettes, even though they don't have mushrooms in the omelettes anymore. That's not their fault, is it now? Oh, I get on a bit of a rant when I talk about the crew and people disrespecting them, I tell you. I actually chatted with 2 different crew members this morning on Messenger before I did this. One of them, Kiwana, one of my faves, she was supposed to be on the Panorama with us, and she's very upset because they moved her ship last minute, which they have a habit of doing. I was looking forward to seeing her in May. But the good news for me, and hopefully her, is that she is now going to the Conquest, which I will be on in July. So I will still see her, right? I am going on a cruise next week on the Firenze, and a lot of it because I haven't filmed. But my very good friend Karen, I believe, is on there. She's not answering my Facebook because most of the crew have WhatsApp. They don't do Facebook Messenger because they have to pay for all their internet and stuff. But WhatsApp is free, and I don't know her WhatsApp number. But I'm looking forward to surprising her, and so on it goes. I will cruise because of the crew. I maybe take it a little bit too far. Let's meet in the middle and just be nice. All right, on and on and on we go. I think I talked for 20 minutes pointlessly and didn't spend enough time telling Sean. Great tip, Sean. Apart from the first one, if both passengers have the internet package, I got to pick on you in some way or other, right? So I've got 5 more tips we're going to do from Sean next week, which, as you know, means I'm going to walk over to the camera, turn it off, turn it back on again, and film again now in the same outfit. Because I used to claim, oh, you've given me multiple tips. That means I'm going to give you the same suit each time. The reality is, I just can't be bothered to change it. Thanks, Sean. Just imagine these are Canadian flags, not love hearts. Again, I don't love Canada. I don't hate Canada. No reason. But this is the closest I can get. Subscribe if you'd like to. Send me your tips. I will waffle on. I guarantee it as much as I did with Sean's. But I will try not to. It won't work. And if you have any questions, my email is coming up. Please email me. I will do my best to find you the answer. If I don't know the answer, I know people that do. So I should be able to get the answer for you. And with that, I will see you later, Cruising World, until 2 minutes from now when I start this over. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.